So the more I think about it, the more I think the the destruction of the human race, the way we're gonna die out, is we're gonna destroy ourselves. We're gonna kill ourselves. And that's not necessarily a new thought, but I don't know how exactly we're gonna do it. But the reason I'm confident we are gonna do it is that we seem to have, since, let me back up for a minute, since we developed consciousness, right, our ability to step outside of ourselves almost and think about thinking, to observe and to start to tweak and to play with things, right? It gave us this ability to improve, to optimize, to look at the world, to look at nature, to look at ourselves, see what we like, see what we don't like, see where we want to play around, and to start to do that, and to get better, and to evolve, and to learn. And over the course of human history, right, it's been a slow trajectory since when we first got consciousness at a very, very base form. Throughout time, we've been on this slow progression to improving and getting better, right? And now, when I say better, I say that in a very generic sense. I don't place a value judgment on it to say that like we've become moralistically better or anything like that. But whatever it is we set our sights on, right? We need more food. We want more food. We want to be able to feed more people. We've gotten better at that, quote unquote, right? We've optimized for it. We've learned how to farm, and then we've done, we've gotten into this form of farming that's almost, engineered farming, where we can create food at such a level that we couldn't have even imagined before. Or another example, right, where I first had this thought was I saw a political ad come on the TV the other day. And as I was watching it, right, and it was whatever it usually is, right, you could see within the ad, they placed certain things, certain music, certain images, certain words and phrases. They referenced certain politicians from the other side, I don't remember what it was, Democratic or Republican, that they knew people would get triggered by. And they said phrases to instill fear and drive emotion and get people triggered, and the music that was playing and all of that. And it's another example of it where we just continuously keep sprinting towards getting better at things. And when it comes to people that are focused on political campaigns and marketing and advertisements for them, you see it. You see us evolving and figuring out like, ooh, if we put this in there, if we use, there's almost a science to it. If we use these right words, or we position it in this way, it's going to get the optimal reaction we want from people. And then you think about it at scale, right? All of us are unique, all of us are different, all of us have different visions of the world, and we think differently, and we have different purposes. So it's almost like scattered throughout the world, or all these people just trying to optimize and sprinting towards getting better, and we can do it differently, and we'll learn, and we'll grow, and we'll improve. And this consciousness keeps giving us the ability to do that. And as we're continuously sprinting towards this, where does that end? What does it lead us to? Because to the point, right, there's not a value judgment on it. It's not necessarily aimed at one thing. It's not necessarily directed at one thing. We are just sprinting almost uncontrollably. We can't stop ourselves. All we know is that if there's something there, we want it to be better. We want it to optimize. We want it to grow. So that's us, just sprinting constantly towards improvement, but without any real consideration of what the consequence is, right? The person that made that political ad, I can imagine thinking in somewhat of isolation, thinking, I'm doing a good thing. Look how great I'm creating this ad. Look at the numbers. Look at the reactions we're getting. Look at the voter turnout that comes because of it. Look at the person that got elected. But never actually stepping back and thinking, what's the implication of that? What does it actually mean for society? What are we doing to each other? And then again, think of all the different areas that we do this in, where we're sprinting, trying to optimize and be better. And it terrifies me, if I'm being honest. And there's an irony in it, right? I started this by saying when we first gained consciousness, right? When we gained that consciousness at an individual level, it allowed us to do these things. It allowed us to look at things and say, I bet you that could be better. I wonder what happens if I do this. And ooh, look what happens there. And we go, right? So at the individual level, we've gained this consciousness, but it's almost as if at the collective, at the societal level, we've lost the ability to be conscious. We have no awareness. We have no ability to step outside it now and look and say, what are we actually doing? It's this uncontrollable, never-ending urge to be better all the time. This never-ending sprint that we're all running towards, which feels like we're running towards our own doom when we think of it that way. And it's scary because I don't think we know how to help ourselves. I don't think we know how to turn it off. History suggests we don't, because we've been on this constant sprint for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. And where does it end? Where does it go? I can't see it going anywhere good.